The fall 2021 semester is in full swing here on the Texas Tech campus, with hopes of returning to pre-COVID conditions. But COVID-19 is already causing some concerns and changes as we head into the second month of the semester. Coming up, we'll have the latest coronavirus numbers and details on changes that could affect in-person instruction.
Students looking for options to spend time between classes have a lot more options this semester. Find out how several campus groups are offering in-person opportunities to get connected with all the university has to offer.
And the Texas Tech football team is stirring up some renewed energy among the fan base after a big season opening win on the road in Houston. MCTV's Austin Seat has a look at the highlights and score from that game, along with what's next for the Red Raiders in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Allison Monacelli.
And I'm Reagan Ranzer.
As of this semester, the Texas Tech community has been dealing with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic for almost a year and a half. And late last spring, the university publicly announced to return to pre-COVID protocols for fall 2021. But is the return to normalcy a reality here on campus? The MCTV's Patricia Perry has a look at how the campus is holding up nearly a month into the new school year.
Texas Tech has went back to an in-person format here on the Lubbock campus. This has brought up concerns in the community, with the faculty, and with students here at Texas Tech University. Many are concerned if we will get to stay in this in-person format and how the cases will affect our community here on the campus. What actions are students and faculty taking here at Texas Tech University? These are all questions that have came to all of our minds as we return to an in-person format. Since classes return back to an in-person format, many are concerned about what that is doing to our COVID-19 case numbers. Dr. Edwards with the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center talks about what campus is looking like.
What we're seeing on campus is really a reflection of what we're seeing throughout the state and throughout the nation, namely a rapid spread. And in particular, the Delta variant of COVID-19 is highly infectious. And we're seeing evidence of that here, not only in our Greek communities, but among our student body itself.
Many students are excited to get back on campus and get that face-to-face learning experience. Yet there are still some worries about what this can cause.
I am definitely nervous about the cases. I've been wearing my mask a lot, but I think it's a lot better. I like being in person a lot more than I like to be online.
Students are hoping to be able to stay on campus, so they are asking their peers to keep others in mind by wearing masks and getting vaccinated.
Be courteous to other people around you. If you know you haven't been vaccinated yet, wear your mask. Do what you need to be doing.
Overall, students are excited to be back on campus and are hoping we will remain in person from here forward. Health professionals are stressing the use of masks, hand washing, and getting vaccinated to help slow the spread of COVID-19 to return to normalcy. For MCTV, I'm Patricia Perry.
Even though the university is attempting to maintain as many in-person classes as possible, COVID infections are making an impact on the campus population. Yesterday afternoon, university officials released the daily COVID-19 numbers in the university's reporting dashboard. As of Wednesday afternoon, 40 new cases of the coronavirus were announced and made up of 37 students and 3 employees. There are also 30 recoveries included in yesterday's report. Along with yesterday's new cases, there are currently 364 active COVID infections at Texas Tech, with the vast majority of reports coming from the student population. Overall, the university has reported 1,062 confirmed cases of COVID-19 since students returned to campus last month.
Although outcomes from COVID-19 infections have increased dramatically since the beginning of the pandemic, the main concern for the Texas Tech community is how new cases are affecting in-person class attendance. Some instructors have had dozens of students in quarantine, greatly impacting the ability to keep students on track with the curriculum. With that in mind, the university sent out a memo yesterday afternoon to faculty and staff announcing that college deans will now have the option to allow certain course sections to convert their teaching modalities to either hybrid or fully online delivery. Up until yesterday, the university had officially not allowed any in-person course to change the course format, but instructors were encouraged to offer options for students who were in quarantine. But with yesterday's announcement, any course could potentially convert to hybrid or fully online instruction if a significant number of those enrolled are not able to come to class. Even if an instructor decides to change modalities, according to the memo, the change would last only for 2 weeks and must end no later than October 7th. Students who may be in a course that could be impacted by a modality change will receive word directly from their instructor over the next few weeks.
Even with the looming impacts of COVID-19, the university as a whole is working to provide a more normal experience for students here on campus, and one of the most noticeable changes has been the return to regular schedule of in-person events. All this week, the Office of Risk Intervention and Safety Education has been hosting several events in conjunction with Suicide Prevention Week. Yesterday, RISE hosted a mental health resource fair in the Sub North Plaza. Students stopped by to learn more about the options available on campus for those seeking help.
First of all, you have RISE. So my department is kind of that first place that anybody can go to if they're not totally sure where to go to next. So we are always a connector and a hub where you can come to on campus to figure out how to get to where you need to go.
Suicide has affected many people, especially during the pandemic. Suicide Prevention Week was created to not only help students find the resources available to them, but also give students a place where they can talk about how suicide loss has affected them directly.
Suicide Prevention Week is important for so many reasons. I've personally experienced suicide loss in my life, and I've had a lot of friends who have as well. So this is a topic that a lot of people have personal experience with, but they may not have actually had a channel to talk about that loss in their life, or maybe even thoughts of suicide themselves. So this is really important to bring just awareness, but to also just let people have a space where they can talk about these things in an open and non-judgmental way.
Suicide Prevention Week continues through Saturday with more events tonight and a special tailgate on Saturday before this weekend's football game. For more information on this week's event, as well as a full list of resources available for students here on campus, visit rise.ttu.edu.
With thousands of students returning to campus this fall, many are looking for ways to make up for lost time to help further their education. Luckily, one campus group is hosting several events this semester to get students plugged into the campus while preparing for their future. Last week, the University Career Center hosted an in-person opportunities fair outside the Wiggins complex. The purpose of the fair was to help students learn about on-campus job opportunities that could benefit students during their time at Texas Tech.
There's a lot of benefits, and first and foremost, it's getting those students plugged in with campus, keeping them here, and showing them all that they have to offer, and then creating that kind of support system for the students through these on-campus jobs. One of the number one things about on-campus jobs is that they're flexible for the student, and they get to build connections with staff members who are also dedicated to tech. So I just think that relationship building and keeping them connected to the university is the biggest thing here.
The Opportunities Fair featured many campus organizations offering part-time jobs, internships, programs, or even unique experiments for students. If you weren't able to make it out to last week's Opportunities Fair, the Career Center has a full schedule of events planned for the fall semester. For more information on those events, as well as current opportunities here on campus, visit careercenter.ttu.edu. The beginning of the fall semester in August started out a bit different in a lot of ways, including local weather conditions. For the first couple weeks of school, it felt a lot more like fall than the end of summer.
That's true, Allison, but it looks like we're finally making it up for some of those cooler days with a return to summer conditions here in September. So how hot will it get as we head into another weekend? Let's look at MCTV's forecast. The MCTV tower cam has been showing a few clouds today, but it looks like most of those have moved off to the heat as it continues to rise. Temperatures should top out in the low 90s late this afternoon, but that's about as cool as it will get as we head into this week. Tomorrow, clear skies will return into the area and bring in some hot conditions. Temperatures will reach into the upper 90s with a slight possibility of reaching the century mark. It will also be a bit breezy with winds hovering in the 10 to 20 miles per hour during the day. Then on Saturday, it will be another warm afternoon as the campus prepares for the first home game this season. High kicks will climb into the low mid-90s by kickoff, but temperatures will fall back into the 80s after sunset. On Sunday, temperatures will be a little cooler with highs topping out with 90s clear skies to the end of the week. Looking ahead, the sunny weather should continue into next week's, along with some slightly cooler temperatures and light winds.
The fall 2021 semester has brought a lot of changes to Texas Tech, but not just here on the Lubbock campus. As the semester kicked off last month, Tech also marked a huge moment in the growth of the university system. On Wednesday, September 1st, the Texas Tech University system officially welcomed Midwestern State University as its 5th member institution. MSU Texas joins the main campus here in Lubbock along with the TTU Health Sciences Center, TTU HSC El Paso, and Angelo State University to form the TTU system. The possible addition of MSU Texas was originally announced in early 2020 before the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, but the effects of coronavirus delayed discussions about the merger until earlier this year. But once Tech and MSU officially decided to join forces, it was up to the Texas legislature to sign off on the decision. Once approved, the bill was signed by Governor Greg Abbott in June, and the merger was effective at the beginning of this month. With the inclusion of MSU Texas, the Texas Tech system added more than 5,000 students, with the majority attending MSU's main campus in Wichita Falls.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, football season is about to kick into high gear as the Texas Tech campus prepares for its first home game since last November. And not only is the team ready to hit the field, but fans are actually looking forward to packing the Joneses Stadium after a big victory in Week 1.
MCTV's Austin Seat joins us now in studio with a look back at last week's surprising start by the Red Raiders in sports. Austin?
Thanks, Allison and Reagan. With the NCAA starting its football season last week, many teams are getting back into the swing of things and trying to get things started off right. That includes Texas Tech, who was looking to improve upon last season with a win against the Houston Cougars in their opening game for the season. The Red Raiders got off to a slow start at the start of the game, allowing Houston to score 14 unanswered points in the first quarter, as well as adding another touchdown, giving them a lead of 21-7 going into halftime. However, the Red Raiders made improvements to their game plan and were able to return the favor by scoring 31 unanswered points in the second half. Starting quarterback Tyler Shuck finished 17 of 24 for 231 yards, passing a touchdown, and ran for another score in his debut for the Red Raiders. The Oregon transfer scored an 8-yard touchdown run with 8 minutes left in the third quarter to start a streak of 31 unanswered points for Texas Tech. Running back Taj Brooks rushed for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns alongside wide receiver Eric Ezukama, who had 7 catches for 179 yards for Texas Tech. Meanwhile, over on the defensive side, Tech had 4 interceptions, one of which was a pick six by Rico Jeffers. For his efforts, Jeffers alongside Reggie Pearson Jr. were recognized by the Big 12 this week. Jeffers was named Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, while Pearson was awarded Top Newcomer of the Week. The recognition was the first conference award for either player, and it was also the first time in program history for 2 defensive players to be awarded by the conference in the same week. The Red Raiders will return to Jones AT&T Stadium to face off the SFA Lumberjacks this Saturday. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m. with coverage of the game on ESPN+. Moving over to the pitch, the Lady Raiders soccer team had a competition at the John Walker Soccer Complex this past Sunday against the UTSA Roadrunners, which ended in another win for the Red Raiders, giving them a 4-game win streak. The defense limited the Roadrunners to only 2 total shots and no shots on goal. TTU goalkeeper Madison White earned the shutout win, playing all 90 minutes without facing a shot. The defense was led again by Hannah Anderson and Cassie Hyatt, who each played the entire game, and who have now recorded 4 shutouts through 6 games this season. Anderson, a junior from Plano, also led the offense by scoring her first 2 goals of the season to take her career total to 6 after she had 4 as a freshman. Her first goal gave the Red Raiders a 1-0 lead in the 30th minute off an assist from Macy Blackburn, and her second made it 3-0 in the 71st minute off an assist from Ashley Williams. Kristen Davis scored her fourth goal of the season in between the 2 from Anderson, giving the Red Raiders their 2nd goal of the night and taking her career total to 35 with an assist going to Jen Rose. The Red Raiders, now 5-0-1, completed a 4-game homestand with victories over Hartford, Abilene Christian, Cal State Fullerton, and UTSA with a 12-1 goal advantage and will now go on the road to play Arizona at 9 p.m. tonight in Tucson. Well, that's all for sports. Back to you, Reagan.
Thanks, Austin. Football will be the main event this weekend in the Hub City, but last week a bit different group of fans came together to share in the fun during the return of an annual event to the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center. MCTV's Patricia Perry took a short trip up Broadway Avenue to find out more.
Comic-Con was hosted at the Lubbock Memorial Civic Center September 3rd through the 5th. Public Relations Coordinator Marissa Rutter talks about what exactly Comic-Con is.
Comic-Con is a culmination of anything nerdy, in my opinion at least. We bring together anime, comics, Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, pretty much anything. If it can be considered nerdy, we've got it here.
Comic-Con attendees see this as a great opportunity to partake in something they enjoy. Henry Stoser talks about what all Comic-Con is to him.
People can express what they like with fan media like comics, video games, anime, and it's a place where you get to see people that like it, talk to people that like it too, and just enjoy yourself.
Comic-Con is more than just a convention for many. Rutter and many other attendees find this event as an opportunity to connect with others that they may have never met otherwise.
You can make friends here that you've never met otherwise in all different walks of life, be it college students, be it someone myself. My full-time job is in traffic control. I would have never met any of these other people if I stayed in just traffic. It's a community.
I'm out here at the 2021 Comic-Con where they put this out annually so many people can come out to shop at the vendors, meet the celebrities, and cosplay as their favorite characters. But to many, this is more than just that. This is community. Most people have found their best friends here and say that this is somewhere where they can truly feel welcomed and feel like they can express themselves no matter what. For MCTV, I'm Patricia Perry.
So Reagan, did you have a chance to stop by the Hub City Comic-Con last weekend?
You know, I did not, but if Tom Holland was there, I think I would have gone. I would have showed up. I definitely would have showed up.
I completely agree. Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.